Why don't more smartphones have this? Let's check it out.
Okay, so this
What could he possibly mean by that, yo? We got an 8-minute video. So many of his videos have this shot in them. It's a very reoccurring thing.
is a TCL
The holding the phone like this to the camera. Very personalized look, right? I mean, you know how much we see this image, something like this a day, quite often, right? Quite often. Got like some smart cleaner or something on his some optimizer, bro, on his phone. All right.
40 Next Paper. And at first glance, it might not appear to be a particularly special phone. Like, this is a $200 budget Android phone.
What? Snap! I gotta upgrade, guys. No, I think we're gonna hold out. We're actually going to invest in just a $200 one. Mm.
It's got a
Let's see what it has. Let's see what it has.
5,000 milliamp hour battery, a pretty standard issue 50 megapixel main camera, flanked by a 5 megapixel ultra wide and a 2 megapixel macro.
All right, we got two of them on the back.
And inside, media.
Like, what do you mean 2 megapixel macro? Yeah, it's a starter phone, guys. Like,
Tech G88 processor, 8 gigs of RAM, and 256 gigs of storage.
8 gigs of RAM, that's standard. You gotta go to like over $400, and you probably will still get 8 gigabytes of RAM.
This design is pretty basic.
Now that's quite a lot of storage, though.
It's squared up.
Like mine's like 32 gigs, bro. I'm down bad storage-wise. Actually, I think it's 64, but
nothing too offensive. A solid blue color with some sparkles in it, but it has exactly one
no way they made the cameras look like
really
that.
Interesting feature.
No, how do they make the phones look so good for so cheap?
That's caught my
it's not cheap,
attention.
But
and that's the screen. So this screen, you're looking at a 6.78 inch flat 1080p 90 hertz display, but when you put it up next to another,
definitely an upgrade. That has to be like Android 13, right? I can't tell.
Phone, that's when you immediately notice something is very different about
it. It's a very large display.
It. Mainly that there are no reflections at all. None. Well, almost none. So this phone is called the Next.
That could be a bad thing. Like, what if you need to use your phone to like quickly see a reflection or something?
Paper, because it has what TCL is calling a full color electronic paper display to deliver a reflection free full color paper like visual experience, which looks,
I guess you could say that, yeah. And it looks like they merged like that plastic they put on the electronics. They gotta peel off with the screen.
Looks way better, has much less fatigue on the eyes, and also feels better in the hand. And so my first thought when I first saw this was, okay, why doesn't every phone have this? Like, how is it a super cheap budget phone that's the first one I've seen to pull this off, and why aren't more phones doing this? What am I missing here? And so, of course, I had to use it to get all of these answers. So, okay, TCL calls it the Next Paper because they'd like you to think of it as just like an e-paper display. If you've ever seen a Kindle or any of the other various e-ink displays out there, that tech is actually kind of sick.
Oh, I remember. I think he showed off this one. That's how we found out about it. Or no, maybe it wasn't him, but somebody.
It's amazing. It minimizes fatigue on the eyes, and it looks and feels like something's literally printed.
Yeah, that'd be so cool to have, because like I don't want it for when I don't want a tablet, bro. Like this is something I need right here. If I have a tablet, I'm just gonna press the home button and load up TikTok or something. Like
on a piece of paper like a newspaper in front of you. It works great in all sorts of different lighting because it's literally rearranging actual ink underneath the display. But this
Is it really?
is
What the
actually not that. Instead,
ink and
it's an LCD display with a textured glass on top and some software tricks
what's that type of glass? It's like not the standard glass. It's like and
to resemble
it's like kind of sandpapery. Yeah.
a paper-like display and deliver almost all of the eye comfort benefits that come with it. So the result is basically what looks like a normal smartphone screen with zero reflections, and I am very into that. Like, look at this screen next to a glossy regular smartphone glass screen. Typically when I review phones, like, I have to spend a lot of effort shielding these displays from reflections. That's a little known fact in this. I guess it's kind of inside baseball, but when you shoot reflective things, it is
Oh my gosh, look at that studio though. What the? Jeez. It's like $1 million equipment, bro. It's like some NASA.
this is kind of inside baseball, but when you shoot reflective things, it is a challenge. I have to angle the
I did not know he used. I thought he used a DLSR, maybe with like a DLSR, like a ring light mount, bro. He's got all this.
phone certain ways. I have to shoot in certain environments, and I often use what we call a flag here, which is literally just to slide it in at a certain angle to block reflections and make the screen easier to see. It's a whole thing. But with this matte display, I mean, I just don't need any of that special treatment. Like, it's happy to show up at any angle, and the angles that would normally
There you
have a giant reflection, it just
It's a $200 phone. That'd be cool if they brought like some sort of like privacy kind of built-in function.
kind of looks a little bit lighter, a little faded, but still actually readable. And then when you're straight on, or just kind of regularly reading, it's nice and soft and it's less stressful on the eyes. It is kind of weirdly a little bit paper-like, like some of those.
But that phone looks very similar to mine. Very similar to mine. See, like mine's very, like they gave us a lot of display.
Those paper-like displays. So almost all of this is enabled by hardware. So there are a bunch of extra layers between the actual LCD display and you, including this textured glass. And so that's all what gives it this anti-reflective look. There's also some other benefits, like physically limiting the amount of blue light that makes it through. So instead of a special mode in the software, there is just physically less.
Oh, thank goodness, bro. Blue light, it hurts sometimes, bro. Like a while back, I got like watched a video on stream and it hurt my eyes, bro. And it was the blue light that hurt my eyes.
Blue light making it through an additional filter into your eyes. And another underrated one, the feel. I mean, literally the way the glass feels under your finger. It kind of has this soft touch effect thanks to the slight texture. So you can actually see the difference up at the cutout at the top. You obviously can't.
So maybe for someone that like doesn't want to, because MK has basically said he doesn't like using screen protectors and probably cases on his phone. So hey, you break it, it's only $200.
Can't do textured glass over the front-facing camera because that would ruin the photos. Not that they're amazing photos in the first place, but
yeah,
that's the most obvious spot where you can see that difference.
88%. They're going with the displaying the battery percentage. Does my phone do that? I don't even want to check my phone on.
Between the matte finish and glossy glass, and my finger just runs over this glass almost the same way that it does on the back of the phone.
Almost like it's a screen protector. Pixel 8. Oh, I don't know if I could get used to that, guys.
So I think all this shaping up to be pretty cool. The matte finish, the basically zero reflections, the.
So now if I know why I hear sandpaper randomly, I know why. I'll know why.
Much lower eye strain, the soft touch finish. There's also stylus support, as TCL makes a stylus that actually works with this type of screen. So what's the catch? Why don't more phones have this on them? And you're probably one step ahead of me already, which is, yeah, there are some downsides. So first of all, a bunch of extra layers on the display itself is gonna have some obvious drawbacks, but mainly it's just that they're cutting a lot of light. Like, it hurts a lot of sharpness and just total light getting through to you. So this is the absolute maximum 100% brightness of this screen.
A 90 hertz though?
And it's 450 nits. So it's good enough to read indoors, as you've seen, but outdoors it's gonna get.
No, I haven't seen 60 hertz versus 90 hertz, but I assume it's better. It's in the higher price models.
Pretty quickly washed out and is disappointingly dim. Now again, this is a $200 phone, so I think if this was an even higher end phone with a
it's like a throwaway phone.
brighter LCD or an OLED back there, maybe it could solve or help some of these issues, but that wouldn't fix the other one, which is sharpness. So this is a 1080p display, as I've said, but it doesn't even really look like that. I mean, I think if I asked you what resolution you think this is, or if I did a blind test or something, it would compare.
This is kind of enraging me, bro, because this is the phone I have, bro. Basically, very close.
Pretty closely.
Yeah, it's like a little bit upgraded version, because mine's like a last year model, but
to a 720p display. I mean, text is soft, edges of things are soft, all the corners are soft. It just all kind of has a little bit of a
snap. That looks so sleek. It looks like I'm looking at the future.
glow to the edge.
Media brightness. Oh, we're displaying the percentages. Let's go.
Edges, which again,
looks like you didn't put a SIM card in it.
Makes things nice and easy to look at. Like, nothing is harsh or super bright or fatiguing on the eyes. But if it's a sharp photo or a video detail you're after, then putting a bunch of layers between your eyeballs and the actual display is not the best way to see those details. And then same thing with contrast. Just because of how much brightness is limited, the lack of contrast becomes really obvious. This one's rated at just 1500 to 1 contrast ratio, which even.
All right, hold on. That's an OLED. That's an LCD. That's the XR with the LCD. Yeah, OLED wins. Unless you like that glossy kind of look. I don't have a choice, so I'm going with the LCD. At least currently. 1,000,000 to 1 though, wow. 7A? Oh, snap. 7A. An app called Notion.
Even when compared to other budget phones, is not that great. Oh, and then screen protectors. People usually put screen protectors on their phones, and this one would obviously not make sense to put a screen protector on. So suddenly in this world of feature-rich smartphones with all these big, bright, clear displays, this goes from being an advantage to being a niche feature. Because most people aren't willing to sacrifice the downsides that come with maybe a little bit less eye strain and less reflections for a matte display. This isn't like a desktop screen where most people are buying it just based on the panel and the visual display properties. There's a bunch of stuff about a phone people care about, and turns out people do not like that trade-off. So I've talked about all kinds of other niche features in the smartphone world and how they're awesome, but
wait, what? What's that?
All kinds of other niche features in.
Oh no! Wait, when did he show this off? What?
The smartphone world.
Hold on, we gotta take a screen. We gotta take a screenshot for this, dude. What the?
And how they're awesome, but won't actually sell a ton of phones. This is like the perfect addition to that pile. I mean, TCL has these special next paper modes in the software, and when you turn one of them on, one's called color paper, and it goes the extra mile to, turn down saturation a little bit and reduce the extra vibrant colors. It adds some texture.
That's so cool.
And everything, it literally looks like your smartphone screen is like a colored piece of paper with like your icons in colored ink moving around. And then you can go all the way up to ink paper, which goes full black and white. It seems silly to most people, but when you compare it to an actual e-ink.
Whoa! Like not even a retro, like a 1920s look, I guess, or something.
Display, that's when it looks amazing. Like an actual e-reader is the least fatiguing version on your eyes. But if you've ever used one, you know that frame rates are
I need this. I need that though. That's right there. Can you even go on the internet with that thing? I don't know, but it's. I don't even read books though. I read books on Twitter. I don't read books. Like I used to be into books. When I retire, I'm gonna get that thing like that.
pretty slow. Like you can hardly get like even a real page turning book animation on some of the absolute bleeding edge best versions we have. So a smartphone with a special hardware layer that gets close to the same visual level but is 90 hertz, fully responsive, full color, and can do anything your phone can do on top of being an e-reader is technically awesome, which is why TCL also makes a tablet version of this and another phone version of this. It is super cool, but almost no one's gonna buy it. And that's why not every other phone is going out to do this too. At least for now anyway. Thanks for watching. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
He does a thing where he puts the slides like 30 seconds before the video ends. Or, I don't know, maybe less. Review that's so similar to a phone I currently have. Alright, fan, that's a video. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, check out MKBHD in the description, and I'll see you next one. Ooh, thank you for the subs. Coming up close on 7,000. I'll see you next one.